Welcome back, everybody, to day 10 with the Michigan Medium Angels. I am Laura Ashley Abraham.
I'm Connie Smock.
And together, again, we are the Michigan Medium Angels, but we are being very silly. So between takes, we just had a blooper. I don't think we can share that one, though.
I don't think so either, unless we X-rayed it. We may have to put a sensor on that one.
I know.
Laura blames me, but I think I know who the one has a mind that goes in the gutter. I'm just saying.
Really, Tink? Everybody knows the truth on that one. Okay.
It is.
Yeah, she looks all innocent. Look at her over there. She looks all innocent. What are you talking about? I didn't do anything. Okay. That's usually me. I know, really. That was
exactly. See, you admit it.
It's true. It's true. It's true. So today we are going to be talking about, how funny is this? Not to take things personally.
Ha! Here we go. So we can post it. I think it would be very funny. Our viewers would want to see what happened behind the scenes. I'm just saying. But okay. But
it was not intentional. Okay. I didn't even get that out of what you saw. I don't know what because I wasn't paying. I'm just going to let you talk now.
Okay. I think that might be a grand idea. So, not to take it personal. So it was funny because there were two clients who I had in a row who were, for lack of better terms, upset about what was going on within the family, their family, that really didn't involve them, but in a way it did because they're family. They care about one another and love one another. And she asked me, should I say something that what I feel, let's say someone's in, and this was actually the scenario, and obviously everything's confidential, so I will not share any names, but I think it's important because a lot of people, literally it was two in a row, and you and I get this a lot with our, even in our reading parties, people ask questions like these, where they know, let's say they're with someone who they shouldn't be with, or I shouldn't say that. They're with someone who that person is complaining about their loved one all the time, but they're not willing to make the changes. They're not willing to make those changes necessary to change the energy. And so there are a couple things about that. One of them is, when you complain all the time, or someone complains about all the time, and all you do is just listen and keep listening and listening, that's okay. I feel a lot of people feel they're being supportive of their loved one. But really what's happening is that person becomes an enabler for the other person to constantly complain about the situation and not change it. And it's not our job to judge that.
The light behind you just went off. When you
did it really?
Yeah.
See, this is really, because this is so important, I think, because like even for me, let me back up. There are a couple ways to shift energy in a relationship. And it's, if you take the emotion out of it, it either works or it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, is there a way to make something work, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if there's a way to make it work, how can you do that? What would that look like to make it work? A lot of times what I see is it's people not setting healthy boundaries. They're just letting things go, things that bother them. Then they're turning around complaining to their loved ones or other people, but they're not doing the necessary steps to actually change their life. So what happens is when you do that, things out in your life out here, because remember your inner world matches your outer world and vice versa, that outer world around you is going to get harder and bigger and harder and more difficult until you are forced to make a change. And when I'm saying this, I'm not saying everybody go break up with someone or get divorced. That's not what I'm saying. But people need to be having those difficult conversations that they're avoiding of, this has to change, or I can't do this anymore, because we can't live like this. Because people think there's too, when they stay in a situation that's not good, it's not just affecting them too, it's affecting your total environment, your household, the vibration. Kids feel that. Kids really feel the tension. You may think, well, I don't argue around them, so everything is fine. but it's really not, because they see you. You are their role model for what they want in a relationship. So there are times when people do have that conversation. I know they keep bringing forward change. People resist change. This is it's fear. It's basically fear. So and a lot of it, I know they're bringing forward financial. A lot of it, people fear not doing things or changing things or saying something because of financial purposes. That's a whole nother topic I think we should touch on. So I'm going to set that one aside for now. And just right now, focusing on not taking this stuff, just focus on this topic so it's not too long. And so basically it's not to take this personal, because that person is helping you learn your life lesson. So let's take scenario A, which we were just talking about earlier. This person is related to the person who is married to someone. The husband is, for lack of better terms, I'm going to use the term a narcissist, which is basically self-absorbed and only thinks about themselves. Okay. This person just lets the husband get away with everything and not saying a word, but turning around and then being upset about it and complaining about it. So what has to shift and change, so right now what's happening is this person is also enabling the husband to keep doing what he's doing because nothing's changing. And why change something if for that person it's working? So it's going to take this person to say, I'm not doing this anymore, and give this opportunity. You're giving this person, what you're doing is giving this person here an opportunity. You're giving them a crossroads to change. It's up to them whether they choose to accept that change or not. But you are now, not only are you learning your life lesson about healthy boundaries and self-love and self-care, but you're set up a crossroads for them, and they set up a crossroads for you this entire time for years to be able, or this person here, I should say, to be able to also change and set healthy boundaries. So once that healthy boundary is set, now this person over here gives them an opportunity. Think of it as you're giving somebody an opportunity to shift and change and for their soul to grow. Whether they take it or not, you have to let go of that and trust that whatever happens is supposed to happen, because I promise you, if you put that out there, that there's going to be another quote unquote soulmate for you, that's going to be on your dance card, there will be. But if you fear of being alone, or you fear that you can't do it alone because of finance, or you fear all of these things, then that is what you're going to create. Does that make sense?
It really does. And I'm so glad that you shared that, because I have several clients, I know people that have had situations like this, and it can seem really scary, and it can seem like the safer option to not make any change and to not do something about it, and to, like you were saying, venting to a friend or venting to a loved one about the situation that's going on. And I know, personally, I've had some situations like that where I had to say, I can't hear that anymore, because it wasn't good for me, and I felt that I was enabling the person to not make changes in their life. One of the things when you were talking, Tink, made me think of something. I think my sister had said this to me before too, is I love you enough to tell you the truth. And I know. And you just got chills. Yeah.
I just got a jolt. That is amazing.
And I know, right? I love that. And I remember thinking, wow, that is so true. Because she was like, if I didn't care about you, I wouldn't tell you. And it's true. It's true. When you love somebody and you really want to work on the relationship, or you really want to make a change with somebody, or you really want, like, for if you want to tell somebody, hey, I see a big problem here for you, and I love you, and this isn't good for you, and I'm seeing that this is a major problem. And so that sets the stage to give them the crossroads of, again, what do they want to do with that? And they might get mad at you, but at some point, first of all, you're giving them a crossroads to choose to decide what do they want to do in this situation. And at some point down the road, they're going to look back and see how you were really trying to help them. Sometimes they can't see it in the moment. But this is one of those right now too, because we're all forced together, you know, in our lives. We're being, you know, quarantined right now. This is going to amplify situations with people as well. And it's going to show you, wow, you know, can I go forward with this? Is this really working? Do I want to continue with this? So I think this is going to really get people to see things that they haven't wanted to see. It's really gonna, like you said, force a lot of change for a lot of people. Absolutely, 100%. So just being an observer, and you know, right now there's not a whole lot we can do about any of these situations, but just being an observer and seeing it, and saying something, again, if you need to somebody that needs to hear the truth. You know, I love you. And that's a good way to even say it. I care about you, and I see that this situation is not good for you and it's hurting you. And I really hope that you're going to start to make some changes soon, you know, as soon as you can. Or, you know, and I know maybe saying, you know, I can't listen to this anymore. I can't hear you talk about this person. This negativity it's not good for you, and it's this cycle. It keeps going over and over and over, the same thing. It's like a hamster wheel. You know, I love you, but something has to change here. So little bit of I know there's a couple different situations that I'm thinking of too, not just in my own personal experience, but also with other people. And like Connie said too, you'll know when there's a change or something that needs to take place. And if you don't do that, that is exactly what happens. It will get amplified and amplified and worse and worse and worse until you make that change. So go ahead, Tink.
No, I think that's great. There's so much to this. So I think we should probably end it now, because the second part of this is detachment and letting go, but that's going to be a whole nother topic. As well as, what was the other one? There was one other thing. Oh, the financial aspect too, and different things of fear. So what we'll do is we'll continue this maybe in another one and talk about that, because that really is a whole separate topic about detachment and then letting go of what happens. All right. So I think anything else for today, or we good?
Nope, that's it. Let's wrap up. Go ahead, Tink. Sign us out.
Everybody have a magical day and night filled with peace, love, and light. Till tomorrow.